the Ultimate Fighter on the World Championship. Previously on the Ultimate.
What is up, sickos? This is after the show, the MMA Junkie Radio post-fight, you might call it. I'm Dan from Oregon. Welcome to all you sickos. Well, Ali Abdelaziz stood us up today. That mofo. The hell's up with that, Ali? Got no respect. No respect for Junkie Nation. Who's been there the whole time? I don't know. Kamaru Usman was on the show. Won't lie, I missed that portion. I did catch Colby Covington joining the show, though. Spitting hot fire to everybody. Calling out RDA. Calling out Woodley. Why is Woodley injured? Why is Woodley okay to come back to only fight one guy?
4,
Colby
3,
is ready
2,
right now
1.
for everybody. Ready to go for everybody.
So, I'm on my way over here, and I'm listening to this new Radio Lab podcast. And
How
talk
the
about this
fuck
new technology that's
is
available.
my...
And I'm like, this is the perfect thing to be
How are
listening
you playing
to
that?
right when I'm coming to hang out with Eddie Bravo.
Hold on, we're getting
No,
technical
there's a-
difficulties. There you go. My Cody TV wants to play UFC TV and YouTube at the same time. I didn't know that was possible. Anyways, back. Colby Covington is on here spitting hot fire. I posted a poll to Twitter because Woodley is obviously ducking Colby Covington. Colby Covington is the biggest name in MMA journalism news this whole year in the welterweight division. There ain't no other name out there. You got RDA, who everyone's talking about, and the only damn reason is because he's Brazilian. Global, the partner that the UFC has down there, because if you didn't know, the UFC is free on TV down in Brazil. It's the second biggest sport in Brazil. Well, they don't have any Brazil male champions right now. That's why RDA might get a title shot over Colby Covington. Not because he's better in the welterweight division, not because he's a bigger draw, not because he's going to be a tougher test for Woodley. It's all speculation. We have no idea. Colby's like 8-1 in his last fights. That's the fight I really want to see. We got a bunch of news about Junkie Nation Gathering. It's currently scheduled for September. They're thinking about moving it to October. We got news of a potential matchup for UFC 223. Pettis versus Michael Chiesa. I thought Chiesa was ducking James Vick. They could have been the main event maybe in Austin, or at least a real big one to look forward to, and a rematch in that fight since Chiesa was coming off of that no tap to Kevin Lee. But no, he gets a massive opponent in Anthony Pettis. I don't know really who to pick in that fight yet, but 223 is getting stacked. Let's discuss some upcoming cards that are coming up. Click over here to Wikipedia, and this is what we're looking at, folks. This weekend, Machida versus Anders. Also worth of note, Valentina Bullet Shevchenko versus Priscilla Kuchera. I don't know about you sickos, but I caught the co-main event podcast with Ben Folks, Chad Dundas. Great hosts. Chad apparently is dropping a story in Bleach Report coming up, and Priscilla Kuchera used to be a crackhead. I had no idea. She's gotten clean as of recently. Here it is. I got this article. by MMA Fighting. They put it out. Guilherme Cruz at GUI Cruz with 3 Z's. Go follow him on Twitter. Priscilla Cachoeira overcame crack addiction, sexual abuse, and improbable journey to the UFC. Now, I'm not going to read all of this, but I want to go to this part that I got highlighted down here. So I started going to parties every day. This is Priscilla. I started going to parties every day and met people that used drugs. My life changed. I dropped studies and sports and started sleeping during the day and partying every night. That's how I started using Lolo, a blend of chloroform and ether, marijuana, cocaine, and crack, she says. I spent a long time using crack. More than 3 years, she continued. My biceps were the size of my wrists. Crack almost killed me. I prayed for a way out. I wanted to stop. I knew I was dying. I knew I was killing myself, but I couldn't stop. My body just asking for more drugs, and I couldn't control myself. Man, what the heck? So, not only do we got David Branch, the ex-crackhead in the UFC, we now got Priscilla, and I was giving this girl no chance getting ready to come up into this fight with Valentina Bullet Shevchenko. Originally, they were trying to get Bullet versus Jennifer Maia. And if you watch Invicta 26, you know Jennifer Maia is the Invicta flyweight champion. She beat their top prospect, Aga. Won't even try to pronounce her last name. She's Polish. And they were trying to bring her in on short notice. I believe it was about 40 days or so, maybe 50, to fight in Belém, Brazil. And she said no. I think that might be a good idea. Maybe the winner can turn around here and fight at UFC 224 down in Brazil. If it's Shevchenko, I don't know if she would want to do that. But taking on the #1 flyweight, I would definitely pick up that fight. Montano, the tough 26 winner or flyweight champion in the UFC. I haven't heard a peep about her, not from the UFC, not from the media. I think she was healing up from that last fight, but absolutely no talk is not good for that division. And so Bullet actually being in the media, that's going to be a great fight to look forward to. And Cachoeira is undefeated as far as other top prospects on the Belém card. You got Figueiredo Davidson, 13-0, versus Joseph Morales, the alpha male prodigy. He's 9-0. And that's going to be an excellent matchup. That is your exclusive Fight Pass main event coming straight to you there. Otherwise, on the show, not much to note, man. I think we touched on the depth of the cards that were coming up and how it's not great. If you've been paying attention to any of the UFC, the only pay-per-views that anyone's talking about is UFC 223 in Brooklyn, headlined by Khabib and Ferg, and then 226, and everybody and their mom's trying to get on that card. Woodley, Cyborg, Nunes, DJ, TJ, Stipe, and DC are our headliners. We know that. That's great because that's the top of the bill. Doesn't get any higher than that, so they can stack that with as much as they want. Let's click over to it, though, because it's already on UFC's website. We go to the main page. And 223 over here. Rose versus Joanna Jędrzejczyk. That's going to be a rematch of epic proportions. I heard that on Andre Nicotina album. And then moving over, just in case someone gets injured, Karolina Kowalkiewicz versus Felice Herrig. That's going to be a banging matchup. Ali Quinta versus Paul Felder. Joe Lozon versus Guritis Markash. Yep. That's how you pronounce that. So that card is pretty freaking stacked already. And there's only 5 fights here. Oh yeah, Evan Dunham is going to face Mirbek Tazimov. That's unconfirmed as of this moment. Not exactly sure why there. But going back to UFC 222, now taking into account they're already building every card after this. So I have no idea what is going on here. I think they're just planning on someone to get a big win and tell them they want to fight real quick. Because this is basically 33 days away or something like that. This is insane. And this is the depth of the card. Your co-main event is CB Dalloway versus Lombard. Didn't Lombard just get KO'd by Dan Henderson? One of the most nasty KOs I've ever seen is launched Dan Henderson into a title shot with Michael Bisping. UFC 199, one of the greatest cards ever. Got the Muhammad Ali remembrance video there. It's amazing. Oh yeah. Struve versus Arlovsky is your co-main. Sorry. I had that wrong, fellas. Ladies and gentlemen. Moving over, though, I believe Ashley Yoder versus Mackenzie Dern. Everyone wants to see Mackenzie Dern. A lot of jiu-jitsu folks, any hardcore that's out there who's catching Invicta and stuff like that. You've all heard that name. Kat Zingano versus Vieira. She's been on a hot streak as of late. Kat just coming back after her loss to Juliana Pena, who is out because she's pregnant right now, or just had a baby, 1-2. But 9-0 Ketlin Vieira. That's right. And she, if I remember right, man, she is a massive 135er fighting out of Brazil. Sean O'Malley, everyone's huge on Sean O'Malley. Brian Caraway is penciled in on this card. We'll see if he makes that walk. But man, I remember when UFC cards, UFC pay-per-view used to mean something. You know, you're dropping your 35, 40, 50, 55 bucks, whatever. Now they want 65 for cards like this. Luke Rockhold, Yoel Romero. Amazing middleweight matchup. We've been looking forward to seeing this for years. The only reason Luke hasn't taken this fight is because he knew when he faces Yoel, that should be for a title fight. And I don't disagree with him, man. You see guys go from wages like under $100,000 to now all of a sudden he's in a title fight and he's making $350K. Volkan Ozdemir. Or Francis Ngannou just made $500,000 in his last fight. But F Donald Trump, right? Right, Ngannou? F that guy. F the opportunity to come here and make money. You know nothing about the sport of UFC. Fighting for a Generation is the name of the UFC documentary that came out after 20 years. Maybe you should go back and give it a look, man. Because after SEG sold to Zuffa, you know who gave the UFC a chance? The Trump Taj Mahal. You sick mofo. We need more history in this sport. More people that know it. More people that talk about it. That's an amazing main event, though, right there. If you were asking me what I would do, number one, I love Australia. Perth, Western Australia. I know this is the first time we're ever coming there. And you deserve big things. You definitely do. I wish Whitaker was there for you. That's the fight that you should have. But the second Whitaker dropped out of this card, Yoel should have stayed on the Orlando card. Rockhold should have jumped to Orlando. He's training there. This is a hometown fight for these guys. And it's the big event on Fox. How many pay-per-view buys you guys think this is going to get? UFC 221. Let me know in the comment section down below. 150? 200? might be generous. Anyways, yeah, take that main event, put it on in Orlando. That was my idea. But no. UFC on Fox wants to have the worst ratings ever. Just happened because they got no name value at the headline. Now we're going to do it again in February. First UFC on Fox February card. We're coming there with Emmett versus Stevens. Everyone knows them, of course. No disrespect, Stevens. You've been one of the longest reigning tenured guys in the UFC. Who the fuck is that guy? The hardest hitting mother effer in the featherweight division. Just took out the Korean Superboy. Have we fought? I think so. I smoke too much sometimes, guys. If you would have done that, though, you dropped this main event. We are now looking at a circumstance very similar to, man, I don't know the number, but it was Thompson versus that steroid dude. Oh, man. Everyone loves him in Junkie Nation. Sorry, guys. They lost the main event, and you know what they did? They took that pay-per-view that they know that wouldn't sell and made it a fight night. That was one of the best fight nights they've ever had, actually, when they did that. I think they should repeat that. UFC won't do it because they want revenue. They want to screw you and us over and all the fighters over. Who's going to watch this? 250,000 people are going to watch all these guys fight, while the FS1 crowd, Brown versus Kim, is going to get more views than these 10 fighters. Dong Hung Kim, the other guy, the other Dong Hung Kim, versus Damian Brown is going to get more people watching it than the interim middleweight champion. That's what's wrong with UFC. They don't know how to build stars. That's why they can't get $400 million, $450 million for their next Fox deal. That's why the ratings are tanking. They're plummeting. Well, that and they don't want to pay their guys to actually get in there and fight. If you would have took off that main event, you have a excellent FS1 main event with Mark Hunt and Curtis Blades. Mark Hunt has main evented more FS1 cards than basically anybody on the roster. Gegard Mousasi's gone, so you can't tell me him. Maybe you could say Bisping. Bisping's moved beyond FS1s. He's on pay-per-views. And his last one's probably it. Who knows where that will be. Oh, I know, I can hear you now. Bisping hasn't moved beyond pay-per-views. His last fight was on Fight Pass. Yeah. The UFC, he did them such a solid as a company man. Bisping going in there, 3 weeks later, after getting KO'd and choked, unconscious, goes and gets KO'd in the first round, saves the first UFC mainland China show in Shanghai. This could have been a catastrophe for the UFC. If they went to China with some thing from the undercard, let's go look at that. That could have been a catastrophe. But no, Bisping stepped up. They have 15,000 strong there. The first UFC in China wasn't a complete flop, kind of like it was over in United Arab Emirates. I've only been back there a couple times since, bringing Roy Nelson over there. Yeah, they're really going to grow it over there with that. Yeah, Li Jingliang versus Zach Ottawa. You think that's going to freaking get some people in the building? That would have been a catastrophe. Here we go. Zabit Magomed Shapirov. I call him Magoman. I think everyone should start calling him Mago Man. That dude, he made the whole card, in my opinion. What else we got coming? It was just announced FS1 or UFC on Fox for April. Now this is a staple for UFC on Fox. They're going to Glendale, Arizona with Poirier versus Gaethje. Love that fight. Love it. How many times does the World Series of Fighting go to Phoenix and headline there because Gaethje? Take these fighters that you know can draw to the places where they draw. I see the UFC doing that with 221. 221, there is so much local talent on this card. It's just not a pay-per-view quality card. Quit trying to make it a pay-per-view. Rip us off for $65. If you think you're getting $65, what? Yeah, we got oceanfront property in Glendale to sell you, man. Glendale, Arizona. You must be on that low, that chloroform and ether. You think anyone is paying $65 for UFC 221, UFC 222, UFC 224 in Brazil, which you got nothing on that card? What's 225? Are you going to Canada? You going to show any respect for Canada? Bring GSP back to the 170-pound division? Have him fight Woodley and retire that division? Launch 165, 175? Don't get me started there. I'll make a whole nother video on that. I'll just keep promising that until it actually happens. Angela Hill filling in kind of on short notice versus Morose. That's going to be awesome. What do you all think, man? Anyone catch Derek Lewis's interview with Slip and Dip Podcast? Check him out on Twitter. Man, he's coming in there at hot fire, talking about Marcin Tybura, his next opponent. They were supposed to fight in the Philippines. They're finally going to get at it in the co-main event in Austin. That's on a Sunday. Don't forget. He also called out Werdum. Once that fight, it was supposed to happen down there in Australia, I believe. Or when he keeps calling it a rematch. I think they were just scheduled to fight, and the fight got dropped. But he's calling it a rematch. And calls out Francis Ngannou. Says he's giving him praise to the media whenever he's asked about him. Lewis to Ngannou. But whenever Ngannou is asked about the Black Beast, he's shitting on him. Talking him down, all this. UFC needs to get behind the Black Beast. That guy runs Twitter. Not no Chase Sherman out here running Twitter but can't fight. Well, Derek Lewis can fight. He's proved it time and time again. 6-1 in his last 7 fights in UFC. Only lost to Mark Hunt. Mark Hunt had the home court advantage, you know. Cerrone. Serious question. Let me know in the comment section down below. We're all hardcores here, I bet. But when you lose on Fight Pass, does it matter? When a tree falls in the woods, does anyone hear it? When Till knocks out Cerrone on Fight Pass, does anyone care? I don't care. I'm watching Cerrone all day long, man. I believe these two guys are quintessential 165ers, though. Straight up. Yancey looked a little... He had that muffin top going on his last fight. I think down in Brazil. Got an amazing win. Oh, yeah, that was versus Silva, I believe. And these guys just, you know... Go watch Cerrone versus Till. That's a 165er versus a 175er. That's a whole weight class apart. Go watch Benson Henderson versus Brandon Thatch. Go watch Jorge Masvidal versus Demian Maia. These guys are a whole weight class apart. Think of how many people in the lightweight division you thought should have got a title shot. And they didn't. I can think of Gilbert Melendez coming over from Strikeforce. I can think of Anthony Pettis coming over from the WEC. Now, I know, special circumstances, Gray Maynard and Frankie Edgar had a draw and they had to run it back, yada, yada, yada. This is the case, man. Lightweight and welterweight have always been the most stacked divisions. They got the most fighters, most people not getting title shots. Something needs to happen about this. One, two, three. All right, we're back. I lost my train of thought, guys. Anyhow, I think I pretty much touched on everything I wanted to touch on as of now. I'm going to be doing an after show for at least, probably 15-20 minutes after every MMA Junkie. Try to make that a staple here. And definitely check out the channel. I will be doing every event. We're going to be doing UFC Fight Pass and chill. Come hang out with me. We'll watch all the exclusive Fight Pass prelims, any and all cards that are out there only airing on Fight Pass. You'll catch me on that as well. Might be doing some boxing fights, who knows, but the Alaskan fights, Pancrase, you might see me doing odd stuff like this as well. So tune in, subscribe to the channel, smash the like button. I'll definitely have the chat open next time so I can interact more with you folks. But my question to all of you guys, who do you think draws more in Brazil UFC 224? Woodley versus RDA or RDA versus Colby Covington? I got that poll up right now on Twitter. Dan from OR, check it out. And then in the comment section down below, how many pay-per-view buys is UFC 221 and Perth gonna get? Back to you, sickos. I'm out.